A lot of people go to the universities to find something to be a part of while getting their education. And when you come here, Lynchburg is that something. It becomes a family. It doesn't matter how long ago you had your professor, they still remember you and they remember all of the hard work that you put in. They're always there for you and they always want to do the best that they can to help you succeed. Here you learn how to love one another regardless of what's going on or what you believe. You leave here better than what you came in. It's what this school's really good at doing.
Okay. We're good.
The biggest thing that I've taken from Westover is probably my interactions with faculty. I started working with Dr. Fryer. He's always available for help and he makes sure that I get to do the experiments and not just be there while he does them. I didn't want to limit myself when I came here to just taking the prereqs for med school. I wanted to get a full, well-rounded education, and I definitely found that in the Westover program. It's given me the opportunity to keep playing soccer at a competitive level, but also it's given me the ability to be a student and to pursue other activities such as EMS. I 100% do Westover because it's not something they're going to regret, and it's going to be a lot of work, but so is everything else. It's just going to help build their education that they've already had and make them a better person for it.
If I'm walking around over on the crowd side, I always hear someone yelling, "Hey Nat, take our picture. Hey Nat, get this," or something, or "Hey Nat, you got that shot?" Like, so I'm always like trying to photograph the crowds and my friends calling my name. I think sports at Lynchburg unifies us as a whole, no matter what background we come from, what differences we have, and what experience we've experienced through our lives. It brings us all together and we have one goal, which is to win. As a photographer, I definitely get to capture the emotion and the feel and the atmosphere of what's going on during the games and what's happening in the crowd and with the fans. We have hugely dedicated fans here at Lynchburg. They come out whether it's rain, snow, sleet, windy, no matter what. Like, they will come out and support their team and cheer them on. They will sit through anything. It's just, it brings us all together as one.
Get your career in the game by enrolling in the University of Lynchburg MBA program with an emphasis in sport management. This program opens the doors to new possibilities for a variety of careers, from being an athletic director or working in athletic administration to working for professional organizations, your favorite team, to running a local Parks and Rec department. And employers are increasingly requesting and preferring individuals who have postgraduate education, specifically looking for an MBA. And so the University of Lynchburg Sport Management concentration in the MBA program sets you up for success, and it sets you apart from the many other people looking for jobs in the industry. Learn from winners. Here you will learn from professors and mentors who have spent their careers doing exactly what you want to do. Increase your marketability in an $83 billion industry. If you have a 3.0 GPA, the GMAT is waived. There's no application fee, admissions occurs on a rolling basis, and our online program is ideal for working adults. When you enroll in this program, you enroll in the opportunity to learn from the best of the best. Your professors have a wealth of experience working in the sport industry that they share with you in the classroom setting. Get in the game by getting your MBA with a sport management concentration at the University of Lynchburg. Just you now, Hollywood, here I come. Hey, I meant, yeah.
Either. The real Lindsay Piper's here.
Autographs there later.
A single thread is unique. Like each of us, full of purpose and potential. A strand designed to connect, strengthen, and unite. But we face different challenges and have different opportunities. By acknowledging that others may struggle in ways we do not, we can celebrate our differences, embrace each other, and fortify the ties among us. A single thread can fray, yet when it's woven with another, a bond forms. A new strength created by the fabric of the whole. Let's embrace the fabric we make together, the diversity of our threads, to reach beyond ourselves and overcome the impossible. The true power of our game comes from unifying our individual backgrounds, connecting our unique stories, enabling us to be stronger, braver, greater. We can achieve so much more when we are all as one.
What a season. The confetti is going to fall.
And there she goes, and she's got it. How sweet is this, and how wonderful for the sport.
For those of you just joining us, it's Senior Day in the Hill City, and we've been commemorating some of the moments with some childhood pictures. Look at this one of Olivia Harris, the Glenver Threads, the green and gold, and really just a really great spot to be in for basketball and culture, Salem, Virginia. So many good hoops and so many great teams going in Southwestern Virginia. And let's also take a look at one of our other Senior Day honorees who isn't exactly a senior, but she's graduating early, Macy Mullins, the Gate City graduate, same school as Mac McClung. You might know that name from the dunk contest if you've watched in the last few weeks or maybe the last few years. He's been dominant. Macy Mullins has been dominant in a Lynchburg uniform where she shot 39.5% from three-point range in her freshman season. Absolutely cruising, and they were historic numbers for that rookie campaign. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the numbers from the first half between Lynchburg and Mary Washington. It's a Hornets squad that's on top by 9 points right now, and three-point shooting once again proving to be a little bit of a difference maker, shooting 4 of 9 from the field, made both of their three-point attempts in that second half, but also turnovers. Mary Washington right now with 11 in those first 20 minutes, and they have been struggling with them the entire season. They will have to really get that number down, and though the Eagles defense has stifled opponents left and right this season, Lynchburg's on top, and they have the run support now. All they got to do is run through the finish line with 20 minutes to play in this regular season. Just about ready to get this one up and running. You see the ODAC standings now on your screen, where Lynchburg will end up finishing in 9th. The top 8 teams qualify for that conference tournament, and Randolph-Macon really has their fist around the rest of the conference opponents. They have dominated, and 15-0 with just 1 loss in the entire season. As Spainauer gets the rebound, we're off and running. The Hornets have a chance to extend that lead back to double figures. And the first half, Olivia Harris, really one of the primetime performers. 9 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Will she put up similar numbers across the stat sheet in the second half? She played every single minute of that first one, and you can tell Coach Nichols really letting her backcourt engine go. Chance for the Eagles. Surveying with options down low. Layla Carter was on the post and now goes outside to Stedman. Tries to get around Macy Mullins. 3-on-3 crime doesn't work out. Here comes Harris. Looking over the top, Darcy Ross. The connection outside. Macy Mullins left alone. Can't cash in. So much fun to have a non-conference affair as the final game. I think a lot of other teams out there in the ODAC might be stressing a little bit today, especially on the men's side, where it's not exactly determined who will be in that ODAC tournament. I believe it's going to be a fight for that 8th spot, as the referees will have a conference about this decision. Looks like we might reverse the call. Here's a second look. Carter's pass goes outside, the deflection, and it will stay with the Eagles. So off Darcy Ross last. Mary Washington, though they're known for their defense, has really started to improve its offense. They've had more assists than opponents in their last 4 games. They're putting up large numbers in those categories. Today, just 3 in that first half, but it's largely in part to the isolation opportunities. As you see, the drive has been alive all game. This foul's on Olivia Harris. Another substitution for the Eagles. Someone we haven't talked about today, Elizabeth Berry, freshman from Fairfax, played basketball and soccer in high school. And another jump ball under the hoop. The Eagles will relinquish possession this time, but the hustle and attention to detail has been really second to none when you look at some of the energy they bring to the table. Olivia Harris now moving forward with confidence. Baxter guards tightly. A quicker move, and here's Spainauer trying to find the open man. Double team, somebody's open. Brundage back outside. 10 on the shot clock. Lynchburg looks for Spainauer down low. Trying to go around traffic, denied under the hoop. And here comes the speedster Baxter. Mary Washington, they've won the last 4 matchups versus the Hornets. Lynchburg last won in November of 2017. They're trying to change the tides this time as no foul called on the rebound. Macy Mullins gathers cleanly. Pass up the floor to Spainhour. Once again looks for that pocket, and here's Harris. Any way to maneuver through traffic. Now penetration, Mullins goes directly up. Spainhour took a hard hit, and you could tell it wasn't anything intentional as Barry went to make sure she's okay. Bree Spainhour could run through a brick wall, and I think she'll still give the impression that she's okay. Such a tough performer for Lynchburg, and also plays on that volleyball squad. As you see, Kate Littlejohn enters the picture for the Hornets. 18 points and 5 assists last time out versus the Randolph Wildcats. Darcy Ross wide open in the mid-range. She doesn't miss a lot of those open opportunities, converting left and right. And here come the Eagles. Lynchburg hasn't exactly been dominant at home this year. When you look at the Turner Gymnasium stats, they are 5-5 at home. But you see the 3-8 on the away category, and you can tell the Hornets have really started to wake up here inside Turner Gymnasium. Believe this is a chance for them to rattle home their 4th straight win at home. Pass down low once again. Denial all around. This time it's Jenish who looked to go around the horn, and the foul called on the rebound. Hornets got a win on senior day last year. Sammy Sever, Taylor Gant, and Sayer Brandstatter were the recognized players, and Lynchburg won 74-40. Not many antics down the stretch. Doubt the Hornets can put up 74 today against a Mary Washington defense that is lethal. 33rd in the nation in the D3 Datacast efficiency ratings. Does just enough to keep Olivia Harris off the board this time. Baxter inserts. Now down low, Carter, goes up and in. Layla Carter adds 2 to the tally, and it's back to single figures. Mullins pass denied to Darcy Ross. Stopped mid-play. She was saying, where's the contact at? Spainhour loses the ball, and once again the track race is underway. Oh wow, Megan Baxter had an opportunity to go right through. And another foul. Feels like the Eagles are getting all of their fouls after the ball has been corralled by Lynchburg.
Back in the game for Lynchburg, number 14, Ashley Vandergrift, and number 23, Audra Petty.
Maybe a little bit of full court pressure here from the Eagles. We're going to try and keep our eye on some of the other ODAC scores here in the second half. Most of the other contests in the league are starting at 2 o'clock today. And so very little analysis we could do in that first half, and especially given that this game does not impact the ODAC standings. Olivia Harris left wide open, straightaway jumper, clips the iron and out. But an offensive rebound from Vandergrift, who looked for Spainhour. Could Petty catch up? No, she couldn't. Maybe had a few extra footsteps in the corner. I think Audra Petty could have gotten there. A reminder that the Lynchburg men's lacrosse team is also in action right outside on Schellenberger Field. A contest versus Pfeiffer, a team that they beat in the NCAA tournament last year in that first round. Baxter ready to inbound. 3 fouls now on Bree Spainhour, something to keep an eye out for if you're a Lynchburg fan. And much like that last contest, they have led all the way through so far, trying to hold that narrative down the stretch. Olivia Harris had 3 defenders around her, not enough to keep the ball, and maybe frustration on the Hornets bench. And Baxter takes a tumble heading into the paint.
Foul is on number 14, Ashley Vandergrift, her first.
talked with Coach Allison Nichols before this contest, and even looking back at that last one versus Randolph, she said a lot of the reason why we scored 16 three-pointers is because we had some of those high percentage looks, and they are a result of those quick ball reversals, the paint touches. You're playing against a 2-3 zone almost the entire time that Randolph has employed against every opponent, and they were so successful as Spainauer as she wraps around and uses the glass up and in. Bree Spainauer, really a quiet killer. She doesn't go on a lot of runs, but she impacts every stat category. 6 rebounds today, and now 4 points. As jumpers up and falls from the corner, Maddie Jenish, the sophomore from Randolph, New Jersey. Littlejohn hassled and waited to grab the ball. Looks like her foot was still on the line. And that will take us to the media timeout. But with 4:13 to play here in this third quarter, Lynchburg still has that comfortable lead, 32-23. They're trying to maneuver a very impressive Mary Washington defense. Back in Turner Gymnasium, there's a shot of Darcy Ross, the Allegheny High School graduate from Covington, Virginia. In the class of 2024, there's a picture of Darcy from her early days with the basketball, the Allegheny Highlands shirt on. Always great to go to that area in Covington. It's just such a very fun area, and the fact that it feels like everybody's family. Everybody is so tight, and Darcy is the exact same way. One of the most giving people that you'll meet on this Lynchburg team. She has obviously battled injuries throughout her Lynchburg career, but in this 4th season, you've really started to see how she can make contributions so quickly. And even a few points earlier in this contest today for number 32 have fallen. 7 points on 3 for 5 from the field. Vandergrift was ready to fire. We've seen a few logo threes here and there. Now Kayla Sledge using the post package to go up and almost rattles home the jumper. Evan Gates with you in the final regular season contest for this Lynchburg women's basketball team. Don't forget that the men's team will be in action against Virginia Wesleyan to close out the slate in Turner Gymnasium. As this jumper is off the mark, offensive rebound, no good. Vandergrift last tipped it, and the Eagles maintain possession. Taylor Brown comes back into the game for Kayla Sledge. Interesting point. On Mary Washington's end, you're seeing a lot of high percentage looks that haven't fallen, but they've struggled with the three-point shot. As the offensive foul will be called on Juliana Maybe before the inbounds play. Mary Washington right now 1 of 12 from three-point range. Shooting just 8%. Let's see another look at the offensive foul. Maybe it's a little too much contact against Petty. This Randolph team that came into Turner Gymnasium struggled from three-point range as well. 5 of 29. Taylor Brown turns around and fires. Looked clean as day for number 22. Taylor Brown, someone who continues to improve and grow, and using her size, it will be so interesting to continue seeing how much she can continue to improve, and that ceiling is certainly a high one. Coach Allison Nichols has really been pleased with what she has been able to do, and especially a rebounding machine down low. I think that's the ultimate package if you can get there for Taylor Brown. As Casey Kelly, Olivia Harris, and Macy Mullins are back into the contest. Casey Kelly competed yesterday for the Lynchburg track and field team. They had a Friday affair at Bridgewater. It was at a new complex out in Rockingham County, and she is one of those athletes who is not only a two-sport athlete, but she's a good one as well. She qualified for the triple jump national championships as a freshman, and she's looking to go back there this season. She will certainly bolster Lynchburg women's indoor track and field team's chances at getting another championship under their belt. It's a Washington and Lee squad that is very impressive. Definitely boasts a lot of talent, and Casey Kelly, someone who could add some points and hopefully take some away from the Generals if you're a Lynchburg fan. Kate Littlejohn at the stripe. 10-point game for the Hornets, and she knocks home the second. Even contributions all around. Mary Washington is familiar with that as well. No one was in double figures against CNU. Lynchburg might have a similar day as Olivia Harris has 9. She makes the pass over the top. Taylor Brown misses the gimme. Great pass from Harris. Just couldn't set the table. Now Baxter looks to direct the offense, and no one in the paint. Great move from Jenish. And that's just pure recognition to get all of the Lynchburg bigs out from right under the hoop. Now Olivia Harris with options. Baxter still on her hip. Wow, getting shifty. This time outside to Casey Kelly. The move to try to get to the horn, and a little too much contact.
Foul number 15, Elizabeth Berry. Her third at the line to shoot 2 for Lynchburg, Casey Kelly.
See, once again, nice crossover. She will head to the stripe with 2 shots and a 9-point lead. Last year's final contest in Turner Gymnasium was against EMU, a 67-52 victory for the Lynchburg team, who moved on to the ODAC quarterfinal. They would ultimately lose to Shenandoah at the Salem Civic Center, but it shows the poise and the growth from this squad. Even recognizing some of the favorite moments in a Lynchburg uniform. I believe one of the 4 seniors cited that EMU game as being their favorite, and it really did feel like the atmosphere and the energy was electric. Jenish will head to the stripe for 2. 25th appearance just about every game this season. Averaging 13 minutes a game. You expect so many of these Eagles to keep getting heightened contributions year after year, and I think that's the blueprint from every coach across the nation. You want to have a bigger handprint on your program's success in the years to come, but especially for an Eagles squad that boasts 7 freshmen. As Macy Mullins tried to tiptoe the timeline unsuccessfully, and Mary Washington steals a little bit of the thunder. They're heading the other way. Coach Allison Nichols getting confirmation. We'll get a second look at this as Mullins, yeah, it's a little too far across. This time, Eagles passing around the horn, maybe a chance to bite into this lead heading into the 4th quarter. Mentioned the Coast to Coast Conference tournament goes through Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Not a site that you get to play at very often if you're a Division III East Coast squad. Ticks winding down on the shot clock. Eagles got to move. They're looking down low. Kate Littlejohn plays nice defense on Carter. And one final possession ensuing. Olivia Harris tries to go to the rack. Littlejohn left alone from beyond the perimeter. No good, but Casey Kelly snags the offensive board. Harris looking to make something happen. Just a few seconds to go. Pass, Wolken outside. Baxter gonna hoist from half, and it's off the mark. And that is how we run through the finish line here in this third quarter. Lynchburg still leads by 9, and they're looking to finish their season with a pair of victories here in Turner Gymnasium. Just 10 minutes to go on the other side.
Think a private education is too expensive? Think again. At the University of Lynchburg, you can get a personalized education for the cost of a state school. If you're commuting and you get our top scholarships, you could pay much less. And you get all that without the hassle of giant lecture halls. Our faculty know your name here and do more than just teach. You might even do research together and plan out your next career moves.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
Well, our fourth and final senior to recognize is Mackenzie Brundage. Coming from down in Asheboro, North Carolina. You see the stroke is still pure, and she has had such a fun time with this Lynchburg team, always making great contributions. We mentioned she was a valedictorian in high school, and she's gotten some minutes today, number 10 and white. In her final contest, she gets to do it right here in Turner Gymnasium, where Senior Day will commemorate the quadruplet that will be moving on from Lynchburg after this season. Macy Mullins, Olivia Harris, Darcy Ross, and Mackenzie Brundage. Foul on the floor on Jenish. That's going to be her third personal. Mentioned that in this contest, looks like Lynchburg's season will end today as Casey Kelly dominant to go up and in. Nice move, and when she gets into her zone, it is very difficult to stop her. That mindset. Referees will have a quick conversation. Mary Washington will have a substitute. Casey Kelly's like, can we go ahead and get the free throw on the way? Here comes the substitute for the Eagles. It is Jenna Stedman. 9:35 to play here in the regular season. Kelly off the mark. And Baxter looks to lead this squad back into this contest. They'll have to do so somewhat quickly because this Lynchburg team can put a run up in a hurry. They have defended well, allowing just 29 points through 30 minutes of play. Baxter swarm, trying to get the contact. Harris gave a little too much. And 2 shots on the way. Megan Baxter, the main ball handler for this Eagles squad. 3 straight seasons starting 25 games. And you see just a little deceptive to try and get anybody to bite. Now heading to the stripe for 2. And first one up and in. A reminder, all the ODAC games can be found online at the ODAC website. 6 contests going on right now for the women's side of things as we wrap up the regular season. And it looks like Randolph will have that 8th spot wrapped up. Do not believe a tiebreaker would go the Hornets' way. So a Senior Day contest, a chance to win to end the season with a win, rather. Looking like they're heading in that direction as Olivia Harris tries to climb the ladder. Shot won't matter. So many great partnerships throughout the Lynchburg career. You also pay attention to the fact that it changes every year. Olivia Harris and Macy Mullins, we mentioned, were two of those main contributors in that first season for Macy Mullins. And then we saw Sarah Brandstatter enter the picture last year. The Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy partnership changes every single season. You got to just have your tag teamer out there on the court. And rest assured, I think Lynchburg finds those new backcourt duos year after year. Now a great entry pass inside, and nobody's stopping that. Layla Carter cuts the lead to 7. It almost feels like decision time for this Hornets team. When they get to this point in the ball game, can they run through the finish line? They did so versus Randolph and didn't experience any turbulence, but we know that this Hornets team has been vulnerable to some of those late game swings. Olivia Harris tries to quell the storm, and nothing but nylon from number 2. Olivia Harris, what a joy it has been to watch the last few games she has played in Turner Gymnasium. You had a feeling that these seniors would have some good performances today. We've seen Olivia Harris and Darcy Ross getting on the scoreboard at a high rate.
Darcy Ross.
Ross is back into this contest. Lynchburg right now out there with Harris, Ross, Littlejohn, Petty, and Mullins. Layup falls for Valentine. Now the Hornets maybe trying to change the pace. Pass outside to Petty, reversal. And a double screen, trying to get some isolation for the point guard. Littlejohn tries to wrap around. Here come the Eagles. Can Megan Baxter tighten this game even more? Great moves under the hoop. Somehow it doesn't sneak in. Really just fluttered out. And Littlejohn has space, looking to go to the hoop, and fouled on the way there. 2 shots for number 4 in white. The Roanoke transfer, who started 15 games last year for the Maroons, averaged 27 minutes. She has turned into a nifty member of that backcourt for Lynchburg. We could mention her in one of those partnerships to come. The sophomore from Holly Springs, North Carolina. Sinks home the first. It looks like Megan Baxter is going to head to the bench. Might be a nosebleed. Hard to tell as the AT staff will make their way over to the Eagles bench. Big shout out to our athletic trainer, Brent. Does a phenomenal job as always, and so many different members of the Lynchburg community that make these broadcasts, that make these games, that make the season go around, and we could go up and down the list. I hope that Joe Brennan and Kyle Haney, your 2 broadcasters for the second game, will have an opportunity to share their thoughts as well. But it really is a committee effort, and it's been so fun, especially throughout the season, just to see how special it is and to see how many people keep the world going around here in the Hill City. It's been a great season, and even just to have opportunities to come out and watch a game at Turner Gymnasium, it's something we never take for granted. And here on Senior Day, just about 7 minutes to play, it feels only appropriate to talk about some of those people. Daniel Hamlet down there showing the referees the review monitor. So the monitor, a new iteration to this season. If you are a fan of the ODAC, it was really a new installation and a requirement that every ODAC school has the replay upon review if they need it. Looks like this time it was a quick look. Can't tell if it was with the contact on Baxter. Coach Nichols using it as a mini timeout on the other side. Hornets trying to sneak out the doors here at End of the Sunset in this final regular season game. The Hornets, if you look at your official stats for the season, 9-14 with a 6-10 conference record. So a chance to have double-digit wins if they get it today. Wonder if we could get in the mind of Coach Nichols right now. We might have to do one of those mic'd up things again and try to get some of the thoughts relayed. Coach Nichols always adamant she can really get this team in a good spot. Her 4th season in the Hill City. Head coach down the road at Randolph for a few years before this, and she has really made her way around, obviously before landing right here where she grew up, a Brookville High School graduate. Also went to Bridgewater, so she stayed in the ODAC. But you look at Coach Nichols' resume, she was the director of basketball operations at ECU, an assistant at Augusta State, and then the associate head coach at Roanoke College. And some of the story that we have discussed throughout the season is that there is a very big Roanoke connection on this Lynchburg team. It goes up and down the staff and includes Kate Littlejohn. Both Whitney Hobson and Sarah Brandstatter, who are in assistant and grad assistant roles respectively, have ties back to Roanoke College, as it looks like nothing was showing after the review, so it will be Mary Washington ball. No flagrant free throws, and a 10-point ball game, a 10-point lead for Lynchburg to protect in the final home game. As the three-pointer hits the front iron and out, Olivia Harris ready to run. Thought about the pass to Ross. She's going to do it all by herself. Coast to coast. Adding to an already impressive total, 14 points on the day for Olivia Harris in 30 minutes. Mary Washington has struggled to stop her, but on the other end, the Eagles able to get an and one opportunity. Valentine gets to the hoop. 1,000-point score for Fairfield Area High School. Just a little give and go action, even better pass from Layla Carter. So Valentine has one at the line. Once again, a chance to make it a single-digit lead, and it will be. Wonder if this press will pick up any more for the Eagles to try and get some disruptions. Harris over the top to Macy Mullins. Option down low, Darcy Ross harassed by Pavlik, who will pick up the personal. That'll be her 3rd. Pavlik 6'1" from Chantilly. Mentioned she played with Megan Baxter. This is a team that even just looking, without looking at your roster or the stat sheet, feels like it's very speed oriented. They can get up and down the floor, but they do utilize that drive more than they'll look to have a shot from beyond the perimeter. This offense operates very quickly and at a high level, and you wonder about that game versus Shenandoah, who is one of the top 4 opponents in the ODAC. That's a tough place to play going to Winchester. This is a team that proved they can belong in some conversations. They got the win there as this 3 won't fall. Darcy Ross harassed under the hoop, and the jump ball is called. Hornets will take possession. Kate Littlejohn and Bree Spainauer enter the equation. This Lynchburg team has by no means had a straight path journey throughout this season. They lost their first 3 games, and obviously that'll open up some apprehension when you're trying to figure out what is the expectation, what is this team trying to accomplish this season. But they came back, really fought through the non-conference slate, and have definitely found some strong performances throughout. Had a trip to Nashville where they defeated Webster, a team that had lost just 1 game in the year and a half. When those 2 squads played back in December, right before Christmas. A great note to end on for that 2024 half of the campaign. But Lynchburg coming back in the Hill City, started January 1-6. That was the point where it felt really difficult to get back into that ODAC equation. And they were so close as the three-pointer falls for Valentine. But the Hornets just ran out of room and ran out of time. And it looks like Randolph will snatch that 8th spot. But a valiant effort to get back into it. A win versus Randolph last time out. And the Hornets have started to really show their prowess in February. Macy Mullins wrapped up. Another jump ball sends it the Eagles' way. So back and forth we go, turning into a rugby scrum. Now a trio will step back into the game for the Eagles.
Number 30, Layla Carter. Number 15, Elizabeth Berry. And number 14, Megan Baxter.
Megan Baxter. Searching for options. And really, once again, Lynchburg living down low, forcing Mary Washington to try and take a shot. This time, swatted away from Spainauer. Second effort, no good. Darcy Ross wants it once again, hassled. And this time, a foul is called. No two thumbs. And it will send Lynchburg down to the other end of the court. Darcy Ross will have 2 at the stripe. Ashley Vandergrift will replace Macy Mullins. So 2 shots for number 32 in white. An 8-point lead with 4:47 to play in the Hill City. The men's game will begin approximately at 3:30. And it looks like we're going to head to the media timeout. So we shoot one, we'll shoot one on the other side, and that is where we will catch our breath and get set for one final sprint to end the regular season. We've had so many fun moments throughout. We'll like to make one final one here in Turner Gymnasium with just a few minutes to play.
Football has taught me a lot throughout my life. It's definitely had a huge imprint on who I am as a person. Competing at a Division III level created that opportunity for me to go to college. Not only was I the first one in my family to graduate college, but I was really the first one to even go. Being the first one, I'm breaking that cycle, and now that I've graduated, I'm not sure what's the next step, but I know I have a lot of doors open. And a lot of those are open because I played football and ran track here at Otterbein.
One final game, so you know what we have to do. One final back pocket stat of the game. Lynchburg this season has had just 4 single-digit affairs, and they're 1-3 in these contests. And so they're either blowing teams out or they've had some pretty big struggles against some of the conference foes that are sitting at the top, and understandably so. Randolph, Macon, and Washington and Lee, 2 teams that are ranked this season. And you also know that even those opponents that aren't have either received votes or they've been in the equation before. You think about teams like Bridgewater and Shenandoah, a team that really had the nail in the coffin at last year's ODAC championship game, and then Mary Schleisner said, never mind, let's go ahead and win the title for W&L. It was an instant classic in Salem, and if you are any fan of the ODAC, you're hoping that it's another similar equation this year, because, oh my goodness, you can't really wait any longer. It feels like we've had so much fun to get things up and rolling. Second free throw off the iron. Darcy Ross's pass to Harris. Took a quick swipe, but here comes Lynchburg. And once again, gives it away. Baxter tries to catch up on the other end, and the layup's up and in. 6-point lead. It keeps dwindling down. The Hornets just have to steamroll through to the finish line. Spainhour had enough space and too many options, so she waits and Lynchburg tails out. The Hornets were getting out-rebounded in the first half. They've picked it up in the second. Olivia Harris never stops. Flaming in Turner Gymnasium. Does a little bit of everything, and once again, just balling out. This time, the other end, Baxter playing catch-up. 7-point game. Olivia Harris, smooth crossover. A John Wall impression. Go ahead and get it out of your pocket. But now it will be another opportunity to head to the free throw line. Mary Washington stuck in the bonus, and the Hornets with 4 personals here in this in this fourth quarter. Harris at 17 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists. Certainly a senior day performance to be happy about. Mentioned she did not start a single game last year. 24 appearances. She had just 2 starts her freshman year. But when she has been relied upon, she has been not only a main contributor, but a spark plug. And it has put Lynchburg in a very brave position to go against so many tough opponents. She can go neck and neck. 10th in the ODAC for points per game this season. And then, as we said, she was sitting at 1,034 career points in Hornets uniform coming into this contest as Baxter tries to use the southpaw approach to go up. Layup won't fall. 3:08 to play. Lynchburg leads 55-46. And upon the entry, we're heading the other way. The Hornets can take the basketball. Imagine that we will start seeing maybe some of the seniors be recognized in the final minutes. There's another great look. Almost worked, but looks like it was a foot on the line. Vandergrift sets the table to Harris, who just runs right into the traffic jam. Such a frustrating task to go up against this Mary Washington team because they are all over you. And mentally, you have to feel like it wears on you throughout the game. The entry to Vandergrift. Searching for options, now out top to Kate Littlejohn. The hesitation, great move to go up with the left-handed end. So impressive is Kate Littlejohn when she can really get up and down the court. She has explored that point guard position throughout the season. Mary Washington won't let go yet. Darcy Ross has to be careful at half court. Now the passes to the other side. Audra Petty was ready. And Littlejohn tried to go upstairs for the offensive board. And she's charged with her 3rd foul of the contest. Spainhour and Macy Mullins will come back into the contest. Saw some instructions from Coach Nichols to Olivia Harris. You got to think there's 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go. You know that this is going to be the final game, and it doesn't matter. You got to run all the way through. And that's what's so beautiful about this team and what every team in America aspires to do. It's all about having that environment of everybody climbing together. Certainly going to be ups and downs. It's never going to be perfect. But when you look at what this team is about and what they're trying to grow to be, you know that there are some staples in this equation. And this is a reminder that Coach Allison Nichols in her 4th season has still not recruited every group that's out there on the floor for the Hornets. And so this was previous recruiting. And so for this freshman class, or they were a freshman class when Coach Nichols arrived at Lynchburg, to have such an influence, thinking about Olivia Harris and Mackenzie Brundage and Darcy Ross. So cool for the culture as Baxter once again agile and makes us keep our focus on the game at hand. Just a 5-point affair. Kate Littlejohn ushers in out front. Now Macy Mullins. The Hornets want to end on a high note. Just one more win. Littlejohn goes up. She'll get fouled and head to the stripe for 2. And it's exactly who you want to be shooting from the free throw line if you're the Hornets. Littlejohn is 77% shooter from the stripe, just like Olivia Harris. Both of them on the floor right now for the Hornets. And back into the game will be Sophie Pavlik. See on your screen, Lynchburg's free throw shooting right at 65% on the day, pretty much the season average, as that percentage will go up as Littlejohn hits the front half. Hornets with a win today can be 10-14 on the season, and one of the toughest conferences in Division III. The ODAC is bolstered with so many great rosters. 5 ODAC first-teamers returned for the season, as it's a traveling violation called on Baxter, and an untimely one with just 63 seconds to play. The Hornets have understood the task at hand, and even in a non-conference affair to close out the regular season, you know that there are so many great teams in Virginia. The D3 climate alive and well, as Macy Mullins trying to create separation. Spainhour wants to take a rip. 3-point shot, no good, but Macy Mullins goes for the offensive board and hits the hardwood. It will be a jump ball that heads Mary Washington's way. Eagles trying to hold on to the one final breath. And it looks like Mary Washington wants to talk things over with just 40 seconds to play. So we'll take one final break here in Turner Gymnasium and be back with the final minute of play here in the Hill City.
Living the dream.
USA, Mexico. That was so exciting.
Here's one more look at the Lynchburg huddle. Never trailing in this contest, and they have continued to expand that lead. And when you look at the timestamp, leading by 12 with 7 minutes to play in the fourth quarter, Mary Washington's trying to find their way back into the picture, but they are going to have to hurry, and it's a team that doesn't like to shoot the three-pointer. They're going to need one now as it's off the mark. Stedman couldn't get it to fall, and Olivia Harris corrals. Now you got to apply pressure. The Hornets disciplined to be careful at mid-court, and the foul is applied. So 27 seconds, and Spainhour heads to the stripe for 2. So many games across the league, as we mentioned, 6 different contests in action right now, and most of them hitting the half. Be interesting to keep our eyes on it. And then that quarterfinal round in the ODAC tournament will be at the host site before semifinals and the championship go to the Salem Civic Center. Spainhour misses both from the stripe, so frustrating for the Lynchburg bench, knowing that the window will have to stay open a few more seconds. We'll stay right here on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network. Hornets try to hold on. Coach Nichols getting very close to 50 wins with Lynchburg. We mentioned earlier she is also coached across town at Randolph. Does she have one more draw up against Coach Appleberry's squad for Mary Washington? 9-15 on the season for the visitors. They played 7 neutral site games as well. Not something that you typically see in Division III. Baxter is set to inbound. How well does this play match the blueprint? Baxter was ready for the straightaway 3, clips the right iron, and escapes out of bounds. And Lynchburg can take that breath and exhale because, wow, it looked like it could have been a one-possession game. Harris and Littlejohn are the two that you want to have the ball in their hands at this stage of the contest. Coach Nichols calls a timeout, and Lynchburg will have it on the side. Virginia Wesleyan will take on Lynchburg and men's hoops right after this contest. They are readying themselves out in the lobby of Turner Gymnasium. It almost gives you a tournament-like feel here in the Hill City. We also have lacrosse going on. So many schools dealing with the crossover season as spring sports arrive, and it's been a lot of fun as we start exploring tonight's leading scores. Olivia Harris, the headliner, 19 points on 8 for 18 from the field, and then Darcy Ross, Kate Littlejohn also in the picture. One final look at the Lynchburg huddle, and they are ready to go out for the final 19 seconds. All the work that has been put in, it goes all the way back to the fall. It's an effort that is a joint effort, and by committee, the Hornets have started to put things together, and they will look to finalize win number 10 on the season as Kate Littlejohn just has everybody ripped away. Baxter once again hit in the head, and she had what looked to be a nosebleed or something of the sorts earlier. She is really running through all the traffic today. That is absolutely the last thing that you want, not only in this game, but also going into the postseason. But Littlejohn was smart just to hold on to the ball and know that Mary Washington's gonna have to foul. They're running out of time, and Darcy Ross is the one who will be heading to the stripe. So a 6-point lead, Lynchburg can add on, firmly in the driver's seat. Ashley Vandergrift is ready to enter the contest with Audra Petty. And Olivia Harris will have a chorus of an applause from the Lynchburg faithful. Here comes Macy Mullins. Well deserved for a backcourt that has been so special. And the Hornets, the fans, the players, everybody who is enjoying this Lynchburg women's basketball team knows exactly what they brought to the table. And just a lot of fun to be able to observe. Ross misses both, and Mary Washington will take a timeout as Ashley Vandergrift was ready to come into the contest, and Darcy Ross will have her final moment to step out as the timeout's called, and it will be one more chance to talk things over. So a reminder, Lynchburg men's basketball just about ready to tip after this contest. And Darcy Ross will get the applause she deserves. It only would be right if you had to wait just a little bit longer. That's how much we love the Hornets. We got to make sure that they stay on the court absolutely as long as possible. But it's a team that will regroup. They'll have a lot of returners for next year, and there will be some new faces. But you understand the blueprint is definitely going to have to stay firm. Coach Nichols believes in the three-point shooting, believes in the transition that this team has employed. And while this season it doesn't result in tournament qualification, some very tight battles against good teams, and that's where the timeline ends for this season. Lynchburg picks up a final victory in a non-conference affair versus Mary Washington, where our roadmap will end for this season, 58-52. And Olivia Harris was on when the lights were shining bright, and the Hornets fans enjoying all the applause and all the attention here in Turner Gymnasium. And what fun it has been on Senior Day. The festivities continue for the men's team, where a few Hornets will be recognized on their end as well. And it's one of those situations where it doesn't feel right to be saying goodbye, because it's such a fun season and really so many special moments that we have gotten to be a part of. But obviously it starts with saying thanks to you, the fans and the viewers, for being a part of this experience and for watching throughout the season, because it just feels like you all really help make the world go round, and you believe in this team, you believe in LHSN. We appreciate all of your support and really all of the fun going down in the Hill City. It feels like this is not a goodbye, but a see you soon. And for the 4 seniors that will be moving on here from the Hill City, it's been such a special time to watch everything going down in Lynchburg and seeing not only the growth as players, but the growth as people. And that's what Coach Allison Nichols believes in. So a lot of fun. A very big thanks to everybody who made this broadcast possible, and especially considering it was a multi-sport day. You got lacrosse out on Schellenberger Field. You got another men's basketball game on the way in 40 minutes. But for this entire season, we'd like to thank the whole LHSN crew and our director today, Josh Smith. And for one final time in the 24-25 campaign, my name's Evan Gates, saying so long from the Hill City.